The news, good evening. The government has launched a small business support fund which will provide loans to small businesses which are in need of money to support their daily expenses for their business. A sum of 100 million rupees has been allocated to the Development Bank of Seychelles, the DBS, to lend businesses. The Principal Secretary for Finance, Damien Teze, says that businesses will have a 1-year grace period and 3 years to repay this loan.
Following consultations that government has had with the private sector through the various forums that the president has chaired, a proposal that was brought forward by the Chamber of Commerce was to introduce a facility that would basically assist small businesses in view of the difficulty they are having to remain in operation in view of reduced sort of operations and revenue inflows on their side. So a proposal was to assist them with free interest loan with no guarantees or collateral in view that the existing facility that is available under the central bank requires them to have a guarantee. And this is the main difficulty that these small businesses are having, to basically be able to provide a guarantee for lending out from the commercial banks.
The Seychelles Revenue Commission is considering waiving provisional tax payments to several businesses which have been affected by the coronavirus pandemic. As a result, the SRC expects to collect less tax revenue for the government. This was an issue which was put to President Danifo's attention during a visit he made this morning to the institution at Maison Coulette. The SRC says that since March, there has been a reduction in tax collection from various sectors such as tourism, telecommunications, banking and CPEC. They were given a grace period of up to the end of August. So far this year, the SRC has collected 3.8 billion rupees compared to 7.2 billion last year.
We have seen impacts on other sectors, especially the major sectors which contributed quite a lot of tax revenue, like telecommunication. They of course offer services to the tourism sector, to the hotels, and they have the services no longer there. Hotels are closed, so they have also been impacted. And of course, the taxes that they pay, VAT, etc., has reduced considerably. Actually, we have taxes on fuel from CPEC. There were no flights. Ship movements maybe has been there, but a bit less, most likely than last year. There's been no movement in terms of a reduction in movements from vehicles and so on during the period of lockdown. So we saw and we observed a reduction in trade tax from CPEC. With the banks as well, because the businesses were not able to pay their loans as before. They were also offered moratoriums, so that also the interest were not coming through, so definitely banks also were affected.
One Seychelles has announced 6 more candidates for the National Assembly elections. They are Hervé Anthony for OCAP, Ralph Enista for the Ancetoile district, Delroy Finesse for English River, Randy Alphonse for Anse Royal, Joella Setange for Ansopin, and Mike Maria for Takamaka. The president of the party, Alice Setange, announced these candidates at OCAP at the home of one of its supporters. Mr. Setange says that they will announce the remaining 10 candidates next Sunday. Sabrina Beauchamp, a former student of the Diploma in Environmental Health Sciences, is the outstanding performer for the year 2019 at the NIHSS. Sabrina, who was a major student at the school, is among 71 other graduates who received their certificates and diplomas, while 19 dental therapists received their bachelor's degree in dental therapy. Present at the graduation ceremony were the Vice President Vincent Meriton and the Secretary of State for Health, Ambassador Marie-Pierre Lloyd, amongst other invitees. The management of the international school Seychelles has reported notable improvement in IGCSE and A-level exam results. During a press conference, the head of the secondary, Mrs. Elodie Valentine, says they are delighted with the result. There is a 11% increase this year in grade A and A star for the A levels. For the IGCSE, the results for the same grade have improved by 16% this year. Mrs. Valentine has attributed the good performances to the talent and expertise of the teachers and the eagerness and hardworking attitude of the students. Steffiane Mozzi, who scored 5 A's in her A-levels, says planning and consistency are key to coming out with good results.
It's definitely a challenge. A-levels is not something you can just walk into. You have to plan yourself. You have to be mentally prepared, mentally, emotionally, and academically prepared to really work your hardest. And you have to be really consistent with your work. You can't just work hard for a certain amount of time and then, slack a bit. It has to be consistent, hard work throughout the year. Just dedication to what you're doing, you have to be passionate about studying and, enjoying what you're learning. And I think that's what brings out the best grades at the end of the day.
The new honorary Council of Seychelles, based in Moscow, Russia, has been appointed. He is Mr. Dmitry Sergeyevich Kislov, and his consular jurisdiction will cover the Rostov and Moscow regions. The appointment has been described by the Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Barry Faure, as an important step in consolidating the bilateral cooperation between Seychelles and Russia. Seychelles has around 80 honorary consuls based in different countries around the world. And with this, we come to the end of this news summary. Thank you for watching. Have a very pleasant evening and a weekend ahead.